Mark Crawford here. I wanted to share with you a little bit of an overview, I guess you call it, of our house and a lot of the projects we've got going on. A lot of work in progress, but this is the end gable of our house, which we have our DIY TV antennas mounted on. I've got a separate video on those, so you can check those out. We're getting 35 channels for free. We also watch internet off the TV off the internet, like a lot of people are doing now, and off the YouTube, which we love, documentaries and things. This is a 1,500-gallon rainwater collection tank, one of two that we have. We fill them up all the way. It's actually 1,650 gallons. That may not sound like a lot of water, but it's just my wife and I that live here, and we're very frugal when it comes to water consumption. We have a composting toilet system that uses no water. We have a shower, and our clothes washing system uses very little water as well. Anyway, we'll have more on that as we go, but the house was purchased as a shell home, which means it's not finished inside, only outside. You can see the outside here is cedar, has smart panel siding on this end, gable end, and in the back. And then we added on a utility room on the other end, and we'll get to that here in a second. It's hardy panel siding, and then the whole roof is all a Galvalume metal roofing, which is very good for rainwater collection. And I designed the plumbing to where there's no venting out of the roof, so there's no penetrations in the roof, which is really cool. No leaks. Below the windows in the front here, you can see, especially this one, I guess, you can see a garden box where we're going to have, we designed that to where we're going to have thorn bushes with berries, blackberries, that sort of thing. Serves two purposes. One, obviously to provide berries for pies, jams, jellies, and so forth, but also as home protection. These two animals here are the reason we have a grid tie. This is the only reason. We actually started off completely off the grid, but at that time it was summertime, going through a drought, very high temperatures of 105 degrees plus for several weeks. That was a few years ago, but anyway, a couple years ago. But our inverter couldn't handle the inrush from these compressor motors as it advertised, so it was cheaper to hook to the grid than to upgrade our system. And like I said, we've got a lot of work in progress here, so learn as we go, and you can learn with us if you like. This tower here is how we get our internet. That's a radio tower. A local company provides that service, and it runs about $30 a month for DSL type speed and $60 for the high speed. This is our solar water heater that we just built a few days ago and been using it now as a standalone system. We do have a tank in the back. I'll show you that here in a minute, but right now all we're using is a solar water heater, which works great. We're very satisfied with it. I've got a video on that also. A lot of these projects you'll see videos on, so if I don't talk enough about it, you'll check it out. Right over here is just what it looks like. It's a pickup rack for lumber, and I've got our solar panel on it right now. This is temporarily. I'm going to eventually be putting this up on a pergola with 3 more of its brothers. This is a 250-watt Kyocera panel. Highly recommended. This thing works flawlessly. Very durable. And they retail for about $350 to $400, depending on where you get them. We were fortunate to get it from Austin off of Craigslist again for $250. Anyway, this is our utility room. You'll see the continuous rain gutter all the way. It's 24 feet. It's our back door. And we have our other rainwater collection tank here. I want to point out real quick our first attempt at water heating, which is this unit here. It's a camp style water heater. But we learned that you can't keep it out in freezing temperature, it ruins it, and so this one's ruined. Nonetheless, they don't work real well with the DC water pumps anyway, so we moved on from there to this enclosure, which has our propane water tank, conventional water tank, which, like I said, we're not using right now. We're using our solar water heater. This is our propane storage tank. It's portable. We use it for the freedom. That's basically the easiest way to explain it. We used to use a 250-gallon horizontal tank. I've used that before in the past, but you're locked into those companies and you're on their schedule and so forth. With this, we can actually take it and get propane at the cheapest location we can find it and when we want to. So it works out real well. This unit here is a evaporative cooler, and these are available across the country. Not so much in Texas. There's a few places in Texas you can still get them. They retail for about $300 for this size. And I purchased this one. It's AC. I converted it over to DC to work with our solar energy system. It cools the air temperature in the house down to about 15 degrees cooler than ambient temperature. And of course, it's a challenge when it's high humidity or an extreme summer Texas heat like 105 degrees like I was talking about earlier. It's where you really need the window air conditioners. But I'm eventually going to turn this into a 2-stage unit, so stay tuned for that. I'll have DIY and how-tos on that. With a 2-stage unit, it will reduce the temperature up to 25 degrees, so it works a lot better. That's what a lot of industrial complexes and schools and such are using nowadays to save on energy, electrical consumption. Over here we have our hoop style garden structure. We have a 40% shade cloth on top for our vegetables to be able to grow them into the summer heat. We have bird netting to keep the birds out, and a welded wire garden fence on the bottom to keep the rabbits out all the way around. On the left side you can see the raised bed gardening. This is 24 foot long, and on the right side we have our aquaponics system that is virtually brand new. It's only about a month old, which for aquaponics, that's brand new. We've got hybrid bluegill in the tank on the far end and 6 grow beds. We're growing not a whole lot right now, mainly chard, collard greens, spinach, leaf lettuce, things like that. This is our shed that we just built. It was built primarily designed around the space that we had available there, as well as the roofing panels that we already had. You'll notice the vents at the top that louver out that provide good air circulation through it. We got lots of storage and a workbench in there. In the back there you can see one of our original 330-gallon tote tanks where we use it for rainwater collection off of this shed and use that water for the aquaponics system and raised bed garden. We have a compost system in the back there that we'll expand on later on. I want to swing over this way and show you our chicken coop. Chickens are already out today. We let them free range. But we call this the Hoop Coop Chicken Fortress, which is very, very popular. And we actually build these on customer lots locally. That's what this material is right here on the ground. That's already sold for a customer. We'll be installing that shortly. But that keeps your chickens safe and healthy. And we've got a video on that, a couple of videos. But anyway, I'll leave you with this image, and thank you for viewing. If you have any comments or questions, please just leave them. You can send a private message if you prefer to do that through YouTube. And be sure and visit us online. We've got the link down below in the comments, as well as our Gmail. We'd love to hear from you. So until the next video, God bless.